Morning folks, and welcome to another episode of Carolina Outdoors. Today's show, we're on Lake Murray, South Carolina, and we're fishing with our good buddy Marty Trammell. We're going to catch some stripers today. So y'all stay tuned, we'll bring you plenty of striper action.
That's a good one.
All right folks, joining me now is Marty Trammell. Marty, you what is it, striper slayer lures and crappie?
And our crappie side is slab slayer jigs.
Slab slayer jigs, yep. Okay. I know we ain't fishing either one of those lures today. We got live bait because that's what's biting this time of year.
That's what it is.
So explain a little bit of what our setup is before we get on these stripers.
We're going to be basically fishing herring this morning. We're going to try some live bait, cut bait.
Right.
The fish are ranging in a 60 to 70 foot range. They're suspending in 20 to 40 foot of water. We'll fish a Carolina rig style, and we'll put some live bait down and see if we can't get some
And we'll
bites.
just be fishing straight under the boat.
Straight under the boat. We got a spot lock on with Minn Kota iPilot, so that thing will hold us on our fish day.
Right, so you mark them on the graph, we're going to sit right on top of them until one of them decides to bite.
Sit right on top of them and see if we can't put some fish in the boat.
Well, I know spot locking ain't like, throwing an anchor out. It's just holding you. So, I mean, does it help with the boat swirling around to catch some of these fish when you, maybe?
When you spot lock, this thing is like an anchor system. It's a live anchor on your Minn Kota iPilot. It will hold you in that spot so we can sit on top of it. It's basically, like I said, it's live anchor.
Right, sit in front of their head till they decide to bite.
That's right. We're gonna take some of these live herring and see if we can get us a striper to eat that thing.
That sounds good to me. All right, Marty, what kind of hook are we using here? Is that a circle hook?
We everything we use is an eagle claw.
Okay.
This is a circle hook. It's a number 3/0. With about a 3.5 to 5 foot leader is about what we.
Do you use a higher pound test line on the leader there?
We run a 15-pound backing on our lines, and then our leaders are 12 pounds.
12 pounds, okay.
Yeah. And we want to have it a little longer so that bait can actually move up and down in the water column and is not sitting on top of it and just staying in one spot.
Okay.
So that's the purpose of the longer leader.
Yeah.
There's a couple ways you can hook this bait. I like to run in right in the front of the mouth here.
Right.
You can see how it lays in.
Mm-hmm.
You can also come in and we'll hook a different way, and we can come in the bottom of the lip up through the top of the head.
Right. You usually try to come out like the nostril or whatever.
Right. Okay. That's right. So either way works fine.
Right.
So we're gonna get that bait in the water before he dies.
All right.
And let Mr. Ed there get one down in the water.
Get them on down there.
And we'll get another one ready to put out.
Well, I know we set up on these fish here. I know we got plenty of boats around us. Right. I reckon it's kind of a fair man's game when you get out here on these fish, huh?
Pretty much is.
They like to stack up in one area?
Yeah, it's pretty much a fair game. These guys get on top of each other. Most of the time, they're pretty cordial with each other.
Right.
Unless you kind of get over it a little bit.
Well, I reckon there's just plenty of fish for everybody to have, ain't there?
That's right. When these fish get like this, they get stacked in here and they stay on top of each other. And people have to, of course, you can see how the boats sit on top of each other. And we try to stay off, but we fish pretty close.
That's right. There's plenty of fish for everybody.
That's right. Plenty of fish. So we're going to get some more of this bait in the water and see if we can get some action going. Let's see if I can help you.
Ain't on that one. He has got plenty of slack in this one. No, I'm around. There he is right there. He's already at the top of the water. He had a full mouthful of it, didn't he? He would come up to the top.
We'll get some of these rods up. Get them out of your way. Yeah, reel them out.
Come here, baby. Not flapping on me.
We'll get over there on a different spot. Dry hook there. Must have eaten that one too.
He's still fresh. I had him right at the top of the water.
Let me get you some needle nose.
Yes, I'm gonna need that. Now guys, what we had there, this fish put plenty of slack in the line as we was moving the trolling motor around, but let's get in here and get this right quick. Marty, we pulled this and he didn't come up to the top of the water there. It ain't one of the biggest stripers in the world.
No, it's not a big one.
But we got to keep all these this time of year.
That's right. We got to keep these fish from June the 1st to about September the 1st. They pull the limit off. Normally it's 21 inches down here on Murray.
But they make you keep the first 5 you catch, right?
The first 5 over the side of the boat, you got to put them in the live well.
Right. And of course, the reason that when you're pulling these fish up from either from the depths or just because it's so hot, I mean, it's killing the fish anyway.
That's right. We got about 84, 85 degree water temp today. Normally, the last few weeks or so, it's been 86 to 88.
Right.
They just can't take it. The oxygen gets depleted in the water, and it works pretty
Right.
hard
So if you still had the same size limit, you threw this fish back, he's gonna die anyway. So it kills the whole concept of throwing, catch, and release.
That's right.
So that's why we catch these fish.
That's right. And so we keep the first 5 for each man, and hopefully we'll find some bigger ones in a minute.
We'll get some big ones. Maybe we can catch one to eat him.
That's right.
Because they sure eat them that big.
That's right. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for something that'll eat that one today.
That's right. We'll be right back with some more Carolina Outdoors. We got one on now. This might be a little better. Got some shoulders to him.
Yeah, I believe that's a better fish, Alex. He's got you a little bit wrapped around, but we'll
I see that. We'll work him in there. Now, when we caught this fish now, what depth was we sitting at when we caught him?
We're in about 47 foot of water.
But we dropped this fish down to, we dropped this down to what, 15 foot, I believe it was sitting at.
15 to 20 foot is about where we set these off at.
Give me out that line. There we go.
We get him anyway.
Here we go.
There we go.
We'll take them tangled up in them lines.
Right.
We'll get them in.
We'll get the lines untangled here in a second.
Now I know we had to move spots here to get on these fish because basically they just wouldn't stacking up like we want them to.
Yeah, the fish moved out of that spot for whatever reason. So we moved down about half a mile down from
and they still ain't quite stacked up like you like to see.
It's not what we want, but these fish are running through on us. I mean, they'll move in, they'll move out.
Right.
You'll see the bait come through on the graph, and we'll watch that graph, and we'll see the bait come through, say 15 foot. We know to drop that bait down, and then the fish are there, so we'll drop that bait and all down on those fish. Not a bad little old fish.
Now this is more indicative of what we're looking for, something of this size. Of course, we always want them bigger as we can.
That's right. That's right.
But we're sure going, and I know we get 5 fish per person.
That's right, 5 a person.
And you got to keep the first 5.
That's the first 5. So, you know, that's a good eating size fish, though. I mean,
and we stay with these herring. I mean, we're using basically all the same size herring.
That's right.
They ain't necessarily want a small one or a big one.
That's right.
I know herring's on this time of year, but you sell the Striper Slayer lures.
That's right.
What's one of your big lures you like to use? I mean,
one of our best lures that we make is what we call a Slayer spin.
Right.
It's basically a lead head with an underspin with a blade in it.
Right.
We can run fluke. You can pretty much, we'll tie it with bucktail hair.
Right.
That bait we can use year round.
You do good on that bait, that specific one.
At
a specific time of year, really works well.
If this time of year, if the fish get to schooling and you'll see the fish come up, you can throw that underspin, and a lot of times if the smaller fish are up, you can pull that underspin through them, and they'll hit it. The bigger fish are sitting under the stacked up fish, so they'll eat that underspin.
Right.
We do some custom painting top water baits. I'll paint some top water, the Sammy style top water.
Right.
I do those too, so we do some custom painting, bucktails, icy flies. The bucktail, of course, is more of a wintertime bait.
Right.
So we've got that going on in the wintertime and into the fall, winter, that thing. So,
I mean, you can make all the bait in the world, but you know, sometimes it's just like we fishing with live bait today. You just can't beat the real thing, right?
We got to feed them the natural thing.
That's right.
This time of year is hot. These fish are deep, so we feed them.
Got to go where they at.
That's right.
Got to go where the fish are.
That's right.
All right, fishes. That one there. Come on up and get something. Be there. Ah! I never fed him on the hook. Well, you miss them sometimes. That's why it's fishing. But had a good hit right there. You know, we're sitting in the same area. And this fish came and basically hammered it 3 eyes to the hole. Nice if you can get a nice hook set and get the rod out of the holder. But we're gonna put him back in the water, see if we can catch one. I'll set it right back there at it then. All right, folks, we're having to move around and search for these fish today. It ain't exactly wide open. But we're dealing with probably, I don't know, say 8-mile-an-hour wind. It's 80 degrees. And for July, y'all know here in South Carolina, it's usually 95 degrees, especially come this time of day. You're sitting definitely hovering around 90, humid. But we got some wind. It's real nice on us sitting around, but it'd be nicer to catch some fish. But for whatever reason, it's probably what's dealing with these fish, making them, you know, maybe driving them shallower, driving them deeper. Wouldn't you say, Marty?
Yeah, I think so. Little weather change, the rain that we had overnight changed the temperature of the water.
Right.
And I think that we may have to end up going shallow to be able to find some fish.
Well, I know the water temperature right now is 85,
Yep.
or it's 84, but what you had seen, you said you was down here just the other day, and it was, what, 88 degrees?
87, 86, 88, somewhere around
Right,
there.
so that's a
It just
4-degree
depends.
temperature difference over a day.
Yeah, and the swing can really wreak havoc on these fish.
Right. Well, they know what they're doing. The problem is we don't know what they're doing.
That's right. That's right. They're probably moving and going searching for some cooler water and looking for that bait and the oxygen. Of course, the
Right.
hotter this water gets, like we know, the less oxygen it's got.
Well, I know, you know, striper, they're a little more temperamental as far as, like, you know, when it comes to, you know, especially like temperature change or anything like that. Plus, they always moving. And
Oh
whatnot.
yeah. Oh yeah.
They're on the side.
They got to search out that water because they're being a saltwater and a freshwater fish.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that they actually a saltwater fish.
That's right. That's
They
right.
come, you know, naturally they would come from the ocean. They come up the rivers to lay their eggs, and they go back out to
That's
the ocean
right.
and
That's
feed them
right.
all overnight.
And that's the way when they come up in the Santee years ago, and they built the dam, they landlocked these fish.
Right, and so that's how they figured out they could actually stay and
That's right.
live their whole life cycle in fresh water.
That's correct.
And that happened by accident.
Yep, sure it
When they
is.
impounded Mary and they trapped them in there, and then they realized
Well, they had some old fishermen back years ago that were crappie fishermen down there that
Right.
started getting bit by fish that they couldn't get in the boat.
Right.
They actually couldn't figure out what it was. And then when they dammed it off, they started catching these fish. So
Right.
it made that's the way all this got started over years and years ago. So
well, you know, any saltwater fish you catch always seems to be more aggressive because the tackle we
are.
have to use and everything. So that's exactly why stripers are so aggressive with catching lakes. That's why they fight so hard.
yeah, it makes a difference. These fish, they a different breed. I mean, they fight. A small fish like that first fish you caught
Right.
this morning make you think you got a 10-pound
Exactly.
fish. I mean,
They hit it like they're 20 pounds regardless.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They got another fish.
So I'll tell you what we'll do then. We'll get some fresh bait on. Let's see if we can't put it in
Yeah,
front
let's
of
see
one
if
of
we
those
can
fish.
find us one.
All right, let's do it. There's one there on the bottom end, hovering. We got another one on right here. I don't know how big this one is though, Marty. It might be one of them die-dappers.
Let's see. Hand me the net there, Brad.
Now, Marty, I know we done moved the spot again. Hey, we ain't got a little more fight left to him. I know we done moved another spot, Marty, but I mean, like we were saying, these fish are sporadic. They still all over the place. Nah. Well, we'll take a fish at this point.
That's right.
You got to move on.
We got to get them, put them in the boat.
And Marty, I know, now, you know, we fish one here today. I know you got your own lures and all. I mean, you know, if anybody wants to buy any of your lures, the Slab Slayer, how do they get in touch with you? How do they find out where they get them from?
We're on Facebook, Slab Slayer Jigs, Striper Slayer Lures. My number is 864-340-9474. Give me a call.
Right.
I'll custom make anything you want.
Well, guys, back at home, if you're looking for them, I know Marty, he makes some really good baits. I fished with him before. We ain't fishing with him today, but we'll probably get another show with you, a crappie show we plan on doing with you later on this year. And you'll definitely see some of the crappie side of it then.
Right, that's right.
So that's the plan.
Not a big fish, but at least, hey, it's another fish.
Nothing to put in the live well, ain't it?
That's right. So we're going to try to get them another one here. There's the fish moving through here right now, so hopefully they'll turn on. I know it's getting a little late, but
Well, we'll put some more in front of their face. One more thing I want to talk about, the striper in this lake. I mean, they're true stripers. These ain't no hybrids in Murray.
no hybrids in Murray at all.
Right.
You when you get up towards Clark Hill,
And the difference between a striper and a hybrid, I mean, the hybrids are more just short and like football, I reckon you'd say.
right, they're going to be shorter, fatter, and a striper can have broken lines. If you look at this fish,
Right,
you see how their lines are
Yeah.
solid, running down the body.
right.
a hybrid will have some broken lines in here,
Right.
and you'll be able to pick up the difference, because like I said, they'll be shorter, fatter, and they'll have broken lines.
Right.
So that's the biggest give them.
And I mean, I know they'll fight just as hard sometimes,
yeah.
but they don't get as big as a striper will.
That's right. That's right. But we need to find some fat.
Yeah,
fat
we
fish.
need to find some real fat ones ourselves, don't we?
Yeah. See if we can put some good ones in the boat.
That sounds good, man. Let's get them back in the water and
All right.
we'll go from there.
That'll work.
Hey, we got a stud now, folks. Believe so. He had it buried, what, 2 eyes deep in the water there?
Yeah, it was at least 2 eyes. So, yeah.
2 eyes deep in the water. He about to come out now to stay slow with him here at the boat. He's gonna try to make that run.
Get on this side of the
My buddy Braxton hooked into a good one. Come on to him. There we go. Another good one. Well, I mean, Braxton, I'm glad you got the next fish, buddy. I wasn't gonna sit here and catch all of them. I ain't gonna act like, but you jumped on top of that. That's the way to go, buddy. That is a quality one.
That's a better fish.
That's more what we're looking for, ain't it? He sure hit it like he was 20 times bigger than that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I mean, when they pull, they pull. I mean, these fish fight. It don't matter size or whatever. So
They got the attitude, no matter what the size of them is.
they can be 8-10 inch fish, and they'll make you think they.
I mean, he showed. I could have sworn we had a trophy fish right there. The way he hit, it was under the boat over here.
Oh yeah, and you can see even a striper. We were talking earlier about a hybrids having the broke lines. You'll get some broke lines, and you can see.
Yeah, I see some broke lines there.
Broke lines on them, but they're not as defined as.
Now, how much would you say this fish here weighed? I mean, what, 4 or 5 pounds, I guess, maybe.
That's probably 2.5, 3 pound
Okay.
fish. It's
Well, I know the state record in South Carolina is 63 pounds, right?
Yeah,
and that was caught on Russell.
Yep, caught on Lake Russell. That's correct.
I imagine you think there's some of that size maybe in here. I know you see some 30 pounders and stuff come out here before.
Well, Mark Crawford does the Striped Bass Challenge.
Right.
They had a tournament here 2 years ago, and we invited us down, and we come down and spent some time with them, and they weighed 3 fish in over 48 pounds, and the biggest one was 53 pounds. So
I mean, that's getting all over there.
Yeah, there's been some good fish caught out this lake.
And I know how many of the fish, I heard, is it 2 million a year they stock in this lake, striper? Is that what it is? Or a million
They
a year?
vary. They'll vary from 400,000 to 1 million fish a year is about average. What
Right,
they do.
and they stock that in here every year.
They stock it every year.
That's amazing. We'll be right back with some more Carolina Outdoors. Got it? Yes, sir. Got net for him? Got it. Yeah, got one on. See what we got here. Well, that might be a closer fish there, ain't it? Yes, sir.
There's another one.
That's all the time we have for today's show, but I want to thank Marty and his son, Braxton, right? Stepson, okay. And Ed, Mr. Ed, they put us on the fish today. You know, it was a struggle. We had a flat tire on the way to the lake this morning.
Yeah.
So we persevered, plus we had plenty of, wind, 10 miles an hour, I reckon, the whole time, battling the waves. You want to tell us how we can get in touch with you one more time to find lures?
Before we go, I want to thank Midland's Outdoors for the bait.
That's right.
Today, Midland Outdoors supplies our bait. That's where we all go and get our bait. So if you're going to fish Murray and you need bait, go to Prosperity and see Kevin and Kelly at Midland Outdoors.
Yes, sir.
They'll hook you up on the bait. But if you need to get in touch with me, you can get me on my Facebook page at Striper Slayer Lures, Slab Slayer Jigs. Or you can give me a call, 864-340-9474.
Yes, sir. And I thoroughly enjoyed the day. Like I said, we persevered. I mean, it's been tough.
Today.
But it's a lot better than getting out here and fishing, because we couldn't have this much fun sitting around the house.
That's right.
And we wouldn't have known if they was on bite or not unless we get out there on them. So I like to encourage everybody at home. You can't catch them if you're sitting at home on the couch. So you got to get out here and catch them. These stripers, we usually do a little bit better than these size.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely bigger fish in Murray. But since, like I said, that's all the time we have for today's show. So until next time, get out and enjoy your Carolina Outdoors.
Thanks for watching Carolina Outdoors. More information and other great shows are at nccarolinaaoutdoorstv.com. See you next week on Carolina Outdoors.